Rainier Avenue Radio. Your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
May is here, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world will be celebrating Asian American, Pacific, and Hawaiian Islander Heritage Month all month long. Go to our website, www.rainieravenueradio.world, for the schedule of programs and special programs of interest to honor, celebrate the successes and achievements of Asian Americans during this Asian American, Pacific, and Hawaiian Islander Heritage Month.
What's up, everyone? It's your girl, Queen Bree, inviting you to come join me on Clean Greens Living, broadcasted Tuesdays, 12:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live right here on Rainier Avenue Radio. On Clean Greens Living, we talk farming, community, and ways to being healthy. So come join me and let's discuss ways to create a healthier you and a healthier community.
1, 2, get down.
What's up, big and little homies? This is Masvita Maraire, host of Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio.world, your one-stop shop for Seattle sports. We cover preps, we cover college, we cover pro, we cover it all. Huskies, Mariners, Seahawks, Garfield, South, Roosevelt, Metro, King County. This is where you want to listen to for all the sports that's happening in Seattle. Seattle Sports Weekly on Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
See a bad
And welcome to our live studio audience for another exciting edition of Did You Know? And here we go with round one. Did you know?
The COVID vaccine is free and easy to get. You don't need insurance or an appointment to get your vaccine. Vaccines are available at many locations near you.
And now we're going to double the value. Did you know?
The COVID-19 vaccine is always free of cost. You can visit pharmacies, community health centers, and other health providers in your neighborhood.
And now for the lightning round. Did you know?
The Delta variant of COVID is a mutation that has health experts worried because it's twice as contagious.
Then for our finale. Did you know?
The best way to protect yourself from the COVID Delta variant is to get fully vaccinated. Get your vaccine today.
Find out more at kingcounty.gov/vaccine. Did you know?
Would you like to see when your favorite Rainier Avenue radio show comes on? Check out our show schedule, updated weekly at rainieravenueradio.world.
What's going on, world? It's your boy OG Mambo.
And your guy D Money. Join us along with Pint Size Patron and IDYourself
Here on Fresh Juice at Rainier Avenue Radio.
every Wednesday from 9 to 11 Pacific.
Get exclusive interviews from your favorite artists, all the hottest music, and updates on what we got going on in the world.
Here go the first song.
Look, I just want to see my zone. Pulling up, big coupe with the ceiling gone. Wait, what? Who is you to say we living wrong? Half the shit we did, you ain't did it all. I ain't lose faith, I'm the same killer. I'm just sticking with my pace like I'm Reggie Miller. Always in my face like they like it. I just put in overtime like I'm Bryson Tiller. You hear me? Yeah, mama ain't raised no fool, ain't even raised me. Still so much love for little baby because she made me. I don't even fuck with the club unless they pay me. You don't catch me cutting no rug like it's the 80s, but my dance moves tricky. Hands real sticky, I'm digging in her purse. Every time she say she miss me, gift and a curse. Benz or a hearse, probably still be on that porch if my wrist didn't work. Should be on the court, I just got a bad temper. Rather chase pape January to December. When my money low, that's the only time I miss her. We don't chase just like we don't chase liquor. You know, you gotta go with your mood. Don't let them play with your food. Cause everybody eat. Why? Cause we up when everybody sleep. Yeah, you gotta go with your vibe. Don't let them play with your grind. At all. Cause everybody hate. Yeah, so we trap when everybody ain't. Ride waves, then they jump shit. Man, I seen the same trace out of pump. Right now I gotta be selective who I with. Cause I'm telling for protection on some punks. Everything changed overnight. Running to the net. Types that a fight, that ain't nothing to respect. I ain't with it, I be up a check. Pretty red bone, I be. There was money boys, gotta run into the west. Hit me everything, she could keep whatever's left. 0, zip, not a dollar. Made me proud, I might put you in that Prada. Ain't nothing like the first time you send her on a date. Jump back in the whip, big smile on her face. Purse full of paper, then she put it in your palm. Squares don't know the feeling, so I put it in a song. You know, you gotta go with your mood. Don't let them play with your food. Cause everybody eating. Why? Cause we up when everybody sleep. Yeah, you gotta go with your vibe. Don't let them with your grind. At all. Cause everybody hating. So we trap when everybody ain't like me, then this I'll be icy every summer. If you don't like me, then this I'll be icy every summer. If you don't like me, then this I'll be icy every summer. Icy every summer, I'll be icy. If you don't like me, then this I'll be icy every summer. You know, right?
There we go. Rainier Avenue Radio, Fresh Juice. You know what it is. Every Wednesday night, 9 to 11 p.m. Opening up tonight's program with one of our guests, Cam the Mac. That's mood, man.
And that definitely was a move for sure, man. That's
vibey, how you kick off the show, man. That's how you do it. Every Wednesday, 9 to 11. Fresh Juice, hosted by the Juice Pack. Right now, only got a half pack right now. Patron. Oh, there's Patron. There we go. All right. Yeah. Well, anyway, we got D-Money here. We got
OG Mambo.
Yes, sir. And he's coming in right here. We got Pint Size Patron. There he is.
Oh, hey.
What up?
Hey, I'm not even gonna save it for the meeting. Patron, from now on, bro, that's how you enter. From now on, I want the screen to pop in, and y'all you just sit down right there. I feel like, dude, that's the new one, bro. That's how we coming from now on.
For sure, right. It's like Bad Boys 2. That's how you get in the building.
And from now on, that's how you start the intro. I want you to do intros just like that.
Hey, the thing is, I came in hot, but the juice is cold.
Okay. Hey, and a bar for us too. Now you're up in the standard because we need a bar every time.
In there, Patron, so we can see. I had you on the skinny. Okay, there we go. Yes, Minute Maid. Yes, watermelon. Man, that was actually by one of our guests. Now, we mentioned Cam the Mac's going to be one of our guests, also joining us here in the studio. We're going to bring him in very shortly, but his manager, Nottus Tre. And if you're a longtime Fresh Juice fan, man, he actually co-hosted a show with me way back in the day. I think this was pre-Evan B. Culture when I was looking for another co-host way back in the day. And yeah,
Wait. It's the police. I'm about to put on
Sandbox.
Don't incriminate yourself.
All right. We're gonna do some breaking news. Oh no. Do some breaking news here. Nottus Tre is here. We're gonna skip the intro. We got the police on the phone.
What's going on? They about to take you in?
I don't know.
All right, let me know what happens.
5 minutes.
All right.
Dang.
All right, so
free the homie. God, Jesus.
Cam the Mac.
That has to be the first time that's ever happened.
Definitely.
In interview world history.
Definitely.
I mean, like, we were going to do a whole intro for you. We're going to send it to my guy Mambo, talk about everything you expect on the show. But, man, just like we had to put the news out right out the jump.
Okay, look.
Yeah, break it down for us. Hey, D-Money, give his mic a little volume, please.
Oh, yeah, I'm about that's as much as I can get. You might have to get a little closer, yeah.
Is it cool right now? Wait.
Ooh, almost there.
Is this one better?
No.
Same.
Same.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
You sound better on that one.
Yeah, you good.
I sound better on.
Yeah. Just be up close to it.
Okay,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we had an interview today, man. Just a run of the mill, regular thing, but in regular Cam the Mac fashion, the police interrupted.
Damn.
Yeah, it's the price you pay when you're living them raps.
Yeah. He's living what he's spitting, right?
He's keeping it too real. And yeah, I was just thinking he was late. I'm wondering why he's not picking up the phone. And then the cops actually called me. They called me once, and I thought it looked like a telemarketer phone number. But it says Seattle POL Authority.
What?
Yeah, you said the cops was calling you. I was like, man.
And it said, "This is Officer French with the Seattle Police.
What?
I just wanted to let you know we are with Cam, and he is going to be late to the interview. You can call me if you have questions."
Wow. Hey, well, you know what? Hey, one thing I'm gonna say, the fact that their verbiage was what it was, and they said he gonna be late, that means let's just send prayers up to bro to make sure that he just late, and they don't try and keep him for any longer than a few minutes. You did what I'm saying?
Hopefully, later on in the interview, we could probably get the officer online and be on the phone and be like, "Yo, what's going on?"
Hey, yeah,
but
right.
They pretty much said Cam fit the description, and that's a real tacky.
That's effed up, man.
That's
effed up.
I've been fitting the description since I was like 15,
right?
And I don't do nothing, so it's like it's. I don't know, man. So Cam's gonna be late. As for now, he's gonna be late.
Okay, man. I agree with that V guy right there. Pigs always hating. There we go.
Man, they could have let him go. They could let him go to the interview. If you could let him talk on the phone, you could let him come do.
Because I'm surprised they texted you first. I'm like,
they called me. No, because I guess how my text message is set up. If you leave a message,
got you.
The words pop up
as
a text message. So
right.
This is because he has a we got a party in 2 days in Bellevue at Stone Lounge. DJ Bankhead, Joey Cash.
Yes,
we have a party in 2 days that Cam is on the flyer for.
I believe that's the one right there.
That is the one right there.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm getting a little worried.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, this is gonna cost me.
It's getting real right out the gate on tonight's edition of Fresh Juice, man.
Yeah, like you said.
Too real.
The manager life, man, it's getting wild.
Oof.
I've gotten death threats already.
What?
Yeah.
Whoa. Man, well,
needs no intro.
We need to get to this intro though. So just in case it's your first time ever tuning into Fresh Juice, this is a hip hop and R&B show. We play new music, we interview artists. Follow us on all of our platforms. Facebook group, facebook.com/group/Fresh Juice Media. IG and Twitter, Fresh Juice Media. Also YouTube, check out clips, full shows there. YouTube.com/@Fresh Juice Media. All right, so we brought in Nottus, man. We didn't get the applause in, but we got somebody else here, man, from Olympia. He's backstage, man. He's ready to get in. So why don't we give this man a proper introduction? So go ahead, Mambo.
Man, before we get into it, free my dog Cam the Mac. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. But we here live on Fresh Juice. We gonna mix it up, a special type of mix, a remix, man. We got another one from the circle in here, man. We making a habit of it. I'm liking what we doing, man. Remixes in the building, man. Make some noise, dog. Make some noise.
Remix.
Oh, hold the pause. Hey, free Cam the Mac. That's some weird. I don't even know what to say about that. I
can say this: we ain't never had that happen on air. That's
ever in Fresh Juice history, ever.
Before the cameras came on, the phone call happened. I talked to the cop. I'm thinking about calling the cop and bringing him up, but wow. You know what I'm saying?
Interview him real quick.
Yeah, right? Yeah, let's do it.
Bring him in for questioning.
Bring in the cop for questioning. I
try to avoid conversation with those guys as often as possible, but I mean, y'all do you for sure.
We got a webcam separating us, so it's not as harmful.
He's actually a cool cop because the average cop ain't gonna let you.
Ain't gonna send no message.
Right? Yeah.
They gonna break your phone.
Oh man, they got the Mambo. Where you at?
No, I'm good, but I'm incognito for a second. Got to move around. I can't have that light while I'm, you know what I mean? In traffic, it can get.
That's how you get the cops.
I'm trying to make sure that he stay free. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Man,
that's how you get the cop lights.
Man, we got limited time though, man. So we want to give you your spotlight too, Nottus, man. It has been a really long time since you've been on this show. Obviously, last time you was here, you were like a full-time artist, man. But now you have been taking up this management thing, man.
Actually, last time I was here, I caught coronavirus.
Oh, what?
Yeah,
Damn.
I had to be like patient zero because it was before they. Because the last time we did our interview,
Yes.
everything wasn't shut down yet.
Yeah. Right.
It was like it must have been like the first week of 2020.
What?
Or the last week of 2019, and then after that, I was on the shelf for a good 3 weeks. Because I didn't even know what I was sick from because they hadn't even reported it being here yet. So I had to been patient zero.
Had to be
in Washington.
Had to be one of the first, man.
I was so sick.
Oof. Man, that
I was so sick, bro.
So what got you in management though, man? Why'd you go that direction?
Loving the music, but not wanting to be an artist or having the energy to be an artist anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just it. Just loving the music. I still want to curate music. I still want to push music out there. I still want to help develop the music. And I've always had an interest for that side of it anyway. You know, because we grew up on Puffy, on Baby, on Dame Dash,
right,
on Suge Knight. We grew up on these people, so these people were just as big as the artists growing up. You know what I'm saying? So I always wanted to taste that side of it, and now I have, now I'm able to do it. So I'm doing it, and I'm starting with Cam.
Okay. Oh, so he was your first pickup, and how long have you been managing Cam?
I've only been managing Cam for like 3 months.
3 months?
Since January.
Okay.
Since the end of January. So February, March, April. So yeah, it's going on his 4th month of me managing Cam, man. He's just somebody who Cam's always been like my favorite local rapper. He's been my favorite local rapper for a really long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he's from West Seattle, like I'm from West Seattle. And he's from a younger generation of West Seattle, so it kind of just made sense. And I looked at it as kind of the easier transition into being a manager, being that I'm not going to have to start with a new artist with no audience,
right?
Start from ground zero, and really like Cam's already halfway. Cam's a couple of moves away from a record deal.
Yeah.
So I looked at that and was like, okay, that's the first artist I want to manage.
Okay.
So would you say the goal is a record deal?
The goal is to get him to the masses. The goal is to make it to where he can live off of music. That we can live off of music.
That part.
It's a record deal will just expedite it.
I feel that. I could definitely see how that works.
Because I'm not anti corporation or anti record industry like a lot of people are.
But they preach independence so hard right now.
A lot of people are fake independent though. A lot of people are independent, but they got a financial backer or they
It just sounds good.
Yeah, a lot of independence. A lot of people use that. A lot of people use independence as a gimmick.
You can stand behind that.
Yeah. A lot of people use independence as
that's
a
real.
A lot of people we look up to use independence as like
that's real.
A lot of people thought E40 was independent.
America.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people thought E40 was independent.
Right.
But E40 was signed to Jive the whole 90s. But we would look at him as an underground artist. But no, he had a major record.
What about would you consider Tech 9 independent?
Tech 9's even Tech 9, but even Tech 9 had certain distribution deals. Like let's take Nipsey Hussle for example. Nipsey Hussle is the epitome of independence. But when I had a meeting with a record, me and my guy A-Wit, we had a meeting with a record label in 2014 with a Atlantic A&R. And this A&R told me we've had Nipsey Hussle for some time now. Nipsey Hussle and Kevin Gates. In 2014, he told me this.
Gotcha.
So you got Nipsey Hussle, he says the independent thing when really he had a record deal, but he was putting out projects independently, but he had a record deal.
Understood. He was dropping the mixtapes.
Right, he was dropping a mixtape. So you got a lot of people who use the independence as that's their marketing strategy.
Okay, kick that game.
That's the truth. That's
Yeah.
what he told me.
Wow.
No, I mean I definitely see it a lot. A lot of people preach independence.
Yeah, independence. But if a record label comes and they pay what they weigh, independence could be overrated real quick.
Yeah. For sure. I can see that.
Because a lot of people are you really independent, or are you? Because if you got a distribution deal over here and then you got a sponsorship deal over here, and are you really independent? And then,
Well, yeah, because you don't have a true machine behind you, and you're independently curating those deals and situations. So when you have a record deal, you don't have the responsibility of building any sort of network, relationships, or anything. You simply just list out your desirables, and it's the responsibilities of the A&Rs hired to those companies, the marketers hired to those companies, in order to do those things and the legwork for you, so you can focus singularly on being creative as an artist, developing your content, working with your management team to work on your look, your aesthetics, your videos, and things of that nature. So independent is truly independent as long as you don't have that big old machine behind you, and your video budgets are independent, your studio time is independently curated, your production is independently curated, all those things, that legitimizes independence. Like you did say, though, there's a lot of people who have a lot of partnerships and sponsorships here and there that definitely escalate them and progress them forward, but they're still independent because comparative to a Nicki Minaj or a Drake or someone who has a machine that's curated around simply their ideals and then bring them to reality, and then a split of percentage of their cut, that's what differentiates the two.
But even when you're independent, you have a lot of responsibility. So it's like it's almost like it's really a damned if you do, damned if you don't. It's all about finding what works for you. If a machine's gonna handle things that I don't want to handle and don't want to deal with, then that'd be the ideal situation. Now, if independence, if I want to do a bunch of the little things, then that's the way to go.
It's about the little things. That's where they get the money too.
Yeah.
Have you had these conversations yet? Have you and Kim got to kind of sit down and talk about these things? Like, can you talk a little bit about that, like onboarding process? Obviously, having a relationship, being from the same borough, it's easy to kind of like link arms and, you know what I'm saying, having a liking to his music. But talk about some of those like introductory things, like, you know, because that's a serious thing. It's a relationship. You know what I mean? It's not just we not just laying together. You know what I mean? We go together. We live together. You know what I mean? At the end game of this, we're supposed to see each other standing next to each other. You know what I mean? Whether it's a Grammy Awards or whatever is the end. You know what I mean? So talk a little bit about that.
We're looking to find. We're starting off. I want to get Cam 1,000 fans. Right.
Okay.
1,000 fans that are going to pay $100.
Okay.
Because if you have merch, if you have show tickets, and you have music, that's going to equal to around $100. And if I can generate $100 from 1,000 people, I'm going to go from there. I'm not looking at, when I said record deal and machine and stuff like that, that's more or less just, I'm just throwing that out there. But really, I'm just trying to generate him a real deal core following and actually monetize it. Ooh. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, well, if you look at it, that's what the E40s, the Currencies, and the Nipseys did, is they utilized that deal for a second, and then just like you said, created that core fan base that they could then feed and grow organically too. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, but I mean, I was saying when I said Nipsey, he wasn't independent. He always had a record deal. He was signed to Sony, then he was signed to Warner Brothers, then he passed away.
But the reason why Victory Lap was such an essential project was because that was his debut album, the singular album that he released under the label. All the other projects, like the $100 mixtapes and things like that, those were independent endeavors that he went on singularly. You know what I'm saying?
But when you get an advance, right? Let's say a record label gives you a $250,000 advance, and you go drop mixtapes. That's just promotion for you. But he's doing that with money from a corporation. That is a fact. You know what I'm talking about? And they're giving you their marketing tools, and they're giving you their marketing muscle. And you're going, and instead of you spending your money on a Bentley, you're going and putting out music. So he did the right thing.
Right, because he hustled him.
Exactly.
Because he didn't give him the album. He just used the money.
Right.
And
but
was like,
the only way you're truly independent if you don't have a record deal. And E40 and Nipsey Hussle and Currency had record deals.
Right.
Currency also had been signed to Warner Brothers at one point, signed to No Limit at one point, signed to Cash Money and Young Money at one point. So it's easy for them to be like, okay, we're independent, but no, you had actual corporation money behind you. So it's impossible for us, the consumer or the outsider, to say, hey, he did this independently and he did this with backing of a corporation. It's impossible.
Right.
You know, but where we're at with me and Cam, I'm just like, okay, let's get 1,000 fans. Let's get 1,000 people to give you $100. That's $100,000. Let's go from there. You know what I'm saying? But the police is in my way.
Yeah, clearly, man. Clearly.
The Seattle, but he was a nice guy. Officer French, by the way. He was a nice guy. I ain't gonna
He serving mustard?
Surprise.
That was terrible.
I just made a sandwich like 3 hours ago, so I used French mustard.
Close to home.
Hashtag relatable content.
I'm not making fun of you, Cam. Please get out of jail.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely, man.
I'm sweating.
Woo. Well, on that note, we're actually up on the first commercial break, man. So we're gonna play a tune for you real quick and pay some bills. But before that, a brand new tune from Middleton, Texas, R&B singer Kamaya. This is actually her first ever music video too. So shouts out to her.
Another Kamaya?
Yeah, Kamaya. It's spelled different, but yeah. Anyway, Kamaya right here. Can't Be Friends is the record. So check this out from Kamaya. We'll be right back on Fresh Juice on Rainier Avenue Radio. Tell your friend to tell a friend to tune in. Jump in the comments, tag their names, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. And we'll get to know a little bit about Remix of Cap City Presents after these messages.
If you're loving me, let me know. Don't let your feelings turn to stone. I don't even know how it's gonna go. I never had a crush like you before, and I just wanna see how you look on me. I'm just scared that for you I will turn cold. Is it right? Is it wrong? Do I just need to let go? Maybe they don't even have to know that it's me in your sheets. This ain't nothing but a thing. Baby, are you hearing me? I just know we can't be friends. We can't be friends. Just know I can't sit in pain. Being your friend, I know we can have something. Just know that we can't be friends, yeah. Let me know if it's just me that wants this shit so desperately. What you gonna know if I never told you? But tell me why can't you see me, baby? Is it right? This ain't nothing but nothing. Baby, are you hearing me? I just know we can't be friends. We can't be friends. Just know I can't sit in pain. Being your friend, I know we can have something. Just know that we can be friends. Yeah, 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 yeah. Is it right? Is it wrong? No, yeah, yeah. Just know that we can't be friends. We can't be friends. Just know I can stand in pain. Being your friend, I know we can have something. Just know that we can be friends. We can, we can, we can, we can. Yeah. Be friends.
Hey y'all, you're tapped in with Rainier Avenue Radio, and this is Miss Asia, MISZ.ASIA. Follow me on IG, and this is Fresh Juice, the Juice Pack, featuring D Money, Pint Size Patron, IDYourself, and OG Mambo.
Are you nerdy by nature? The Crosscut Ideas Festival is back with captivating conversations to quench your curiosity. Explore issues in science, health, culture, and politics with thought leaders and innovators like Ibram X. Kendi, Audie Cornish, Eric Holder, John Quillen Hill, Andrew Yang, and more. April 29th to May 6th at the Amazon Meeting Center in downtown Seattle. It's the Crosscut Ideas Festival, where curiosity and discovery connect. Get your tickets at crosscut.com/festival.
This is Big Poppy, host of Jazz from the Cabinets. Join me each week for a listening tour of the first century of jazz, an eclectic mix of Dixieland, big band, cool jazz, bebop, contemporary jazz, world jazz, all jazz in all forms. That's Jazz from the Cabinets with Big Poppy on Rainier Avenue Radio, streaming worldwide on RainierAvenueRadio.world.
Women are not an homogenous group. We face discrimination differently depending on factors such as ethnicity, age, socioeconomic status, and more. Rainier Avenue Radio is proud to amplify women's voices.
They are the experts of their own lives, initiating conversations within their community about challenges they face, the solutions they're working on, and the opportunities they see.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 for Women's Voices on Air. We know our challenges. We are the experts of our lives.
We are master multitaskers, prioritizing our family, friends, and our faith above our own needs.
Our needs and voices are too often overlooked.
Please join us this Sunday from 2 to 5 p.m. for Women's Voices on Air.
We tell our stories in our own way.
Did you know that there's an updated COVID-19 booster that protects you even more than the original vaccines? Even if you got the first vaccinations, now it's time to get this new updated booster shot. It's especially important for adults 50 and over and people with a compromised immune system. Even though you may not hear about people catching COVID as often, each week in King County, some people even end up in the hospital because of it. So check with your loved ones and make sure they've gotten an updated booster. For more information on where to get a COVID vaccine, including free vaccination resources, visit kingcounty.gov/vaccines. kingcounty.gov/vaccines.
Hey y'all, it's Oya Storms. You're listening to Fresh Juice on Rainier Avenue Radio with OG Mambo, D Money, Pint Size Patron, and IDYourself.
Look, this one for my 16. Shout out to my 304s. Diamond ring, shining things with clean riding Vogues. Time is money, so you clock the hoe, cause you accountable. So when the account is low, you count her out, so you can count some more. You see everything, although your eyes is low. Now you don't go for anything, shit, you need honor of. and work together so that y'all can meet a common goal. Now get this paper, you need acres upon acres upon acres. You need skyscrapers, a rink with ice skaters, a place for bike races, wine tasting, fine dining places. All the finer things in life do not define you, you divine greatness. Now apply pressure and allow patience. Get your mind right, and keep your eyes adjacent toward that motherfucker bag. If you don't know nothing in life, know your average. Cause real niggas need to have shit. Real niggas fuck with real shit and get real money, that's the realest shit. Real shit with real niggas and get real money, that's the real assist. Real niggas fuck with real shit and get real money, that's the realest shit. Real shit fuck with real niggas and get real money, that's the real assist.
Somebody better stop me. I've been playing mental hockey with her. Tried to skate off and I checked her. Little friend better not be with her. I'm a Corvette. I'm a vet to the core. Just left a war. Married to the game 2 times on my second divorce. It's unfortunate. You know I still love it. Life circles around it. I orbit it. It's in love and I done got bored with it. All hanging on like an ornament. Feeling absorbing it. Game is so cold. I'm just trying to get warm in it. I like my paper proportionate. Tell the chick make a cork in it. They game it be counterfeit. Give me that. Might as well forfeit it. Got a key to this CD and can't even open the door with it. I give enormous. Not taking no shortages. Energy linked to the rhythm. These lickings be running game. You bet not blink in front of magician. Only condition. Baby, salute me. We follow the holy tradition. I'ma get out of here. Round up the troops. You stay here and hold the position. I had a car full of this the moment I got out of prison. Cause real position with real niggas ism.
Real niggas fuck with real shit and get real money, that's the realest shit. Real fuck shit with real niggas and get real money, that's the real assist. Real niggas fuck with real bitches and get real money, that's the realest shit. Real shit fucks with real niggas and get real money, that's the real assist.
All right, y'all. Rainier Avenue Radio, fresh juice every Wednesday night, 9 to 11 p.m. New hip hop, new R&B. That is Seattle's own Gifted Gab. And check out her new album. It's called G Body Music. That is from it. It's called Real Assist, featuring also Seattle's own Swisher Sleep on that joint.
Shout out to Swisher.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Woo! That was that. Yeah, that's some dope stuff right there, man.
That was a heater. Another More Gang original. We couldn't get Kim the Mac, but we got to give the Gab record in. So yeah.
I mean, we doing what we can for the More Gang.
Hey, that's a hip hop historian right there.
I mean, we doing what we can for the More Gang, you know.
What? Hey, listen to me, man. I've been outside for many moons, man. Hey, and rest in peace to my dog, Steezy Nassa, man, because that's how I started even rocking with Cam from the jump, man. So, gotta shout my dog.
Yeah, no, More Gang was a big deal once upon a time for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I seen them pack out Numos.
Right.
Oh, you was at that joint too, man. Rest in peace to my brother Suave. I wouldn't have went to that show if it wasn't for Suave. He said, "Gang, we gotta go see the homies, gang. We gotta go see the homies."
They packed out. They brought at least 1,000 people out.
Man.
Shout out Sam LaChow, Raz Simone. They was on the bill too. Did their thing too.
Yes. All right. So if you are just tuning in, Cam the Mac may or may not show up before the end of this show.
Hey, and the radio station's prayers is with him, man.
Yeah, definitely. But we got to know a little bit about Nottus, so it's now to turn the page, man. Let's talk to the promoter, man. Cap City presents own Remex.
What's up, y'all? Thanks for having me on this. I appreciate this.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man.
No, I think it's actually dope that we get to kind of focus on the two of y'all, because one of the things we like to do at Fresh Juice is talk about the well-roundedness of what makes hip-hop. You know what I mean? So from promotions to management, it's not just about the artists and the production and all that all the time. You know, a lot of other moving parts make it happen to make stuff happen.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Like, everybody thinks that like they're gonna make that one hit and that's gonna what makes them big. No, there's a lot of moving pieces involved in this, and that's where I come into play, where it's my job to decide, hey, who actually goes on that stage, who opens for that person, who, you know, what is the lineup, you know. I also wear a lot of hats. I'm also the talent buyer for the Spanish Ballroom in Tacoma. I also do tour routing for an assortment of bands that are just going up and down the West Coast. I mainly stick to the West Coast, Washington, Oregon, Idaho. I've dabbled into Nevada and Utah a few times.
I got a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Not even a question. I need to connect with you because I've connected with Idaho and Spokane. I did a little bit of connection with Portland. I need to connect with a guy like you because I don't think it's emphasized enough of regional touring with local artists. Local artists don't. It's like they're not focused on Idaho, Montana, Olympia, Yakima. It's like they're not trying to hone in these places, and that's crazy to me.
To jump off of what you said right there, like, you know what's crazy to me is that there are a bunch of bands and there are a bunch of artists that are located in LA, and they all say, oh, I claim LA, but LA is so huge. Like, it takes like 2 hours to get from South LA to North LA. But if you want to get an Olympia, like there are some Olympia artists that are like, oh, I don't want to go to a show in Tacoma. That's too far away. Or like Seattle, that's too far away. No. That's the same region. We're all in the same boat at the end of the day.
Hey, preach it, bro. Speak your stuff, Remix, because that's exactly why, like, recently, me and the band, we've been taking a lot of dates in Portland. Like, I just did Dizzy Wright on 420, and next Sunday, we're going out to do Devin the Dude, because the Pacific Northwest, like you said, it's a lot smaller than California artists travel. If you're from the Bay, you drive an hour and a half, 2 hours to go to a gig regularly. You know what I mean? Just to do it. So it doesn't happen as often out here.
Yeah, and the artists, they're not touching the different cities enough. I'm just talking Seattle artists. They're not touching Olympia, Idaho, Spokane, Walla Walla, Yakima. Like, they're not doing that enough.
Hey, just rephrase it. Not all the artists, because I'm in Wenatchee right now.
Live from the snatch.
Ooh, Wenatchee.
From Wenatchee.
Of course, there's exceptions.
You called it the snatch? Ooh, that's what I'm about to start calling it. With snatch.
Hey, I know some people that call it the snatch. So
of course there's exceptions to the rules, but not enough Seattle artists are trying to do the whole Northwest circuit.
For sure.
Remix, talk a little bit about how you got introduced to it, man. What opened the door for you? Was it artistry? What made you get into it? How did the first run go? You know what I mean? Because it takes a while to still be standing doing what you do.
So I guess I'll just start from the beginning. I mean, Patron knows all about my history. Like, me and Patron have known each other, what, maybe 12, 13 years by now? Maybe even 15.
Yeah. We did a few shows before.
Yeah. So back in the day, I used to be a performer. That's how I got the name Remex. After a while, started doing some showcases. After a while, I was like, hey, I don't really like the directions that these promoters are throwing shows. And I was I grew up in Olympia, so I was going to, punk shows and hardcore shows at the Manium or Lavoyer. And I was like, this is how I imagine a show is supposed to be run. So I just started throwing my own shows because I thought that's what artists were supposed to do. That's what I virtually thought. So I was like, hey, I want to perform on this night, and I'll book the headliner. I'll book the openers beforehand, and we'll, write out some set times. Long story short, I started doing that at the South Pacific in Tumwater. Rest in peace, South Pacific. I started just throwing my own showcases, and what happened just trickled down to all these just touring hip hop artists were like, hey, we heard that you're the guy to talk to about booking a show in Olympia. Can you help us out? So I would, book some shows at Lavoyer or the Southpaw with some touring artists. And then it sort of trickled down into bands started hitting me up. And I was sort of like, okay, so I guess I need to expand my reach. After a while, I just lost the motivation to make music, and I figured out my role essentially. And I'm good at my role, and I try not to boast that, but like, I know where I fit in the puzzle.
First and foremost, definitely toot your horn because you're doing something incredible. But I got a question. I don't mean to interject, but I got a question about how difficult was that? How difficult was that to transition? Because in my personal humble opinion, I feel like some things that the Seattle scene struggles with is the other jobs that are, like I said, so important to hip hop. We got a ton of rappers, singers, few videographers, you know what I mean? But we don't have a lot of radio personalities. We don't have a lot of promoters that take it serious. We don't have a lot of managers who could say what Nottus said, to even list off 3 or 4 a Dame Dash, people who he has looked up to, aspire. There's not a lot of studying that goes into it, and I feel like it's because people feel like they need to be in the front. So was it hard to remove yourself? Was it like, did you talk to your friends about it? Like how long did that decision come about?
So I was in a rap group with my homie DL Murray. Shout out DL Murray. So we were in a duo called Model Citizens, and we were just doing shows. And I was, shout out DL, love my boy. So we were just doing shows constantly, and I think what really hit me was he hit me up like one day, like, "Hey man, are you ever gonna write anything new? Like, or are we just gonna do the same material?" And I just found out that I just lost the motivation. That was it was difficult. I'm gonna say that. Like, long story short, it was difficult for me to say, hey, I should probably take a step back. But it was also a step forward because I was like, hey, I figured out my passion. I figured out my role. I figured out what I'm good at. I figured out just my piece to the puzzle of that is the Northwest music scene, whether it be in hip hop or, indie rock, psych rock, hardcore, I just felt like I needed to do more than just rap behind a microphone. I felt like there was more that I was capable of doing. And I'm not saying that there's not anything difficult about what artists do, because they are the reason that I am employed to this day. Like, what they do is awesome, but there is a next step that not every artist is good at doing. And I figured out, hey, so you're not good at booking shows, but you're great at performing. I can put you on that stage. I can talk to that talent buyer and say, hey, I've got this dude who's awesome, and I know this band who already has pull. Let's team them up and let's get a crowd into the building.
Oof.
And really just put together a good show. Yeah,
exactly. Every show was an experience. And that was, I think, a really hard thing in the beginning, because when I was just doing it, I was like, let's just throw some shows and let's just hope this brings out some people. But at the end of the day, it's an experience. Like, you're trying to get people to pay a $10 cover to go see a show. Let them get excited for it,
For sure. And not to mention you putting on live shows, but I think you're also getting into the podcast game. You're also doing some radio shows. Cap City presents podcasts.
So during the pandemic, I, like millions of others, started a podcast. And basically, so March of 2020, everything shuts down. And I'm like, oh, I almost cursed. I'm like, what do I do? Like, what?
Censor yourself.
I'm like, what do I do with myself? Like, like I had like 60 shows on the books. I wasn't even like a full-time booker at that time. And I was like, what do I do? So I talked to my buddy Sage Rakowski, shout out Sage. And he had a studio and was like, he had been bugging me for like months prior to this. He's like, you should start a podcast and interview the touring artists that are coming through Olympia and all this, or like, like use it as a promo. And I was like, nah, nobody listens to podcasts. That's stupid. And then shutdowns happen. And I'm like, well, let's give this a shot. And I basically reconnected with a bunch of, band members, or just like MCs, or, just people who I've worked with, but I've never actually had like a real conversation with, which was really, really just heartwarming, I guess, because a lot of this game is a lot of like me being behind the keyboard being like, hi, do you want to play the show? Or hi, can you offer my artist, $1,000 plus a hotel, and it was sort of like, hey, how are you doing? Let's have a conversation. Actually, like, let's get to know each other. Like, oh, you have hobbies outside of booking shows too. Like, hey, let's talk about that too. So basically the podcast was just sort of pandemic Andy being like, hey, let's reconnect with the artists and let's get to know them outside of their music, rather than just booking them on a show and then walking away from the situation.
It's a good compliment for sure. You do a live show, interview them, you're getting them in all different angles. Like, yeah, that's some real well-roundedness, if you will.
So the performances will be on the podcast as well?
No, not necessarily. So again, this was back in, the before times. Yeah,
Right.
or sorry, this was during the shutdowns, and it was like, hey, what do we do with ourselves? And during that time, that was a sad time to say the least. And what's going on over there?
Yeah, Patron. This was 2019 PC, man. So
PC
post-corona.
Pre-corona.
Pre-corona.
I want to jump to coronavirus because obviously you had a lot of shows at the time when everything started getting shut down. I don't know if you want to disclose this, but how much money did you lose when all those shows got canceled?
Good question.
Well, so funny story. Like 2 weeks prior to all the shutdowns, I got hired at the Pig Bar. Shout out, Katie.
Shout out to the Pig Bar.
Shout out to the Pig Bar.
It's lit in there,
dude. I love the Pig Bar because it only fits like 60 people, so you only get like 20 people to a show, and it feels like a crowd. But
wonder if it's you that booked me at the Pig Bar.
That's like something you got a pork in, you know.
It had to be you that booked me at the Pig Bar.
It had to be. Yep. Who else was booking hip hop at the Pig Bar at the barbecue joint?
All right.
But God. Okay, so I got hired at the Pig Bar, and they were gonna pay me, I think it was $100 a week to book, like 3 or 4 shows per week. And so, I mean, I had about 60 to 70 shows on the books already. I had routed my first tour ever with Rosie Plaza and People Flavor. Things were on the up and up. So, I mean, God, at least a couple grand, at least. And I mean, that's me lowering the bar. Like that's me just like rounding down. At least $2,000 was lost on just the shows that I had booked. Not even anything that I had, like in the works, like anything that I had announced. Then I lost like $2,000 on that.
Wow. For sure, man. I had to drop the wow on that one. Woo, my God.
Now you got me curious. I'm going to do the math when I'm off this podcast.
Remakes, my memory's kind of fuzzy, man. So I'm trying to think, were you coming up doing shows around the time like Olympia was really like top hip hop? They were really heavy with hip hop. I think they had like Twista and E40 come one summer, and
so
they were just doing shows. Like, man, there'd be 3 hip hop shows a weekend.
So that's how I got into it. Like, we'll talk about like 2010 when I was 21. I was actually allowed to start going to the bars. So I was going to the Royal all the time, and the Royal, I would constantly bug like the booker or like the security people, and I'd be like, yo, let me throw a show here, and they're like, who are you? I don't know who you are. No. So I started throwing shows at the Southpaw, the old dirty Chinese restaurant that was out in Tumwater, and they were actually popping off. And then that's when the Royal said,
hey,
okay,
I started
we'll give you
at
a
an
shot.
old Chinese restaurant too. Shout out to the Jade Lounge on Aurora.
Wait, the Jade Lounge, was that in Everett?
No. That's in North Seattle, like almost like in between Green Lake and Northgate. It's like 100th and Aurora.
That's all right.
Right next to the Taco Bell, legendary spot.
I definitely performed at the Southpaw.
Man, well, let's finish the story, and then we got to get to our show and tell segment. So, but I finish the story first.
Where was I going with this?
Where was I going?
The Southpaw. When you started in the 20-something area.
Oh yeah. Okay, so like you said, that was when the Royal was popping, and like you said, there were like 3 hip hop shows in a week. I mean, I remember seeing like San Quinn, E40, Young Buck. Actually, my first introduction to I got snuck into the Royal once when I was 20 years old, so it doesn't really count. And there was no performances. R.I.P. the Royal. I can tell that story now. But Young Buck of G Unit performed at the Royal, and that was my first experience.
I didn't know that.
It was surreal because like I was in the front row the entire time because I'm like a hip hop nerd, and I'm like, yeah, straight out of Cashville, yeah.
Hey, we're not in the show and tell portion yet, but Young Buck is a part of the show and tell portion. If D Money got me tapped into it.
I didn't get to that. Anyway, let's finish the story. Real quick.
Yeah, just long story short, Young Buck actually, he was like, hey, yo, let's start moshing. And he put his hands on my chest and shoved me into to a big crowd of people. And we just all like went wild. That's just a side story. But I mean, like the Royal
the crowd.
What?
Yeah, it was dope. We all just started moshing each other.
Yeah, we got to explore that one. We can't let that one go. All right, go on. Tell me, why did Young Buck push you into the crowd like that?
He was like, "Let's start moshing," and I was in the front row, so he put his hands on my chest and pulled me in. Yeah, it was dope.
That's lit.
But I mean, the Royal.
So you and Young Buck started the mosh pit in 2010. I need you June 1st. I need you to just leave the date available. We'll tell you why later, but if that's the type of energy you're coming with.
You said Young Buck and me started the mosh pit.
We did it. Yeah, we're pioneers in the game. You know what I'm saying? But you know, going back to what Patron was saying though, the Royal is what really got me into what I was doing. And then after the Royal closed down, I was just like, well, let's go back to square one. I was going to shows at Lavoyer, you know, before I was 21. So let's start throwing shows at Lavoyer. And that became like the ideal spot.
I got left for Lavoyer.
Yep. You run your own sound. You run your own door. It's a little hole in the wall. I still throw shows there to this day.
Inside a hole in the wall.
No joke.
All right, we got to get to the end of this story, man. All right, man.
Okay, let's fast forward 10 years. Well, 9 years actually. So I start throwing my own shows. 9 years later, I see, you know, that McMenamins is posting for a talent buyer, and I'm like, hey, I think I'm capable of that. So I get the interview. I get the job. Long story short, I'm now the booker for 4 venues in Washington. I book for the Kalama Harbor Lodge, the Olympic Club in Centralia, Spanish Ballroom in Tacoma, and Anderson School in Bothell.
Yep.
And I book a lot of genres of music. I'm booking anywhere between, I did some math on this, and it's somewhere between 350 and 400 shows a year. Oof. on top of Cap City Presents, which is my DIY booking company. So yeah, I can route tours for you based on, or, you know, through Cap City Presents, but anytime I book you at Spanish Ball or like at a McMenamins gig, that's McMenamins Presents. And I'm proud that they are my employer and they are paying me to do what I'm born to do, really, essentially.
Whew.
That's what's up, man. Salute to that.
Man, now we got to get to the show and tell portion, man. A couple of y'all have big events to, talk about, man. And I know, obviously, we got the situation with Cam to Mac, but there is this event that is scheduled in 2 days, man. So we got to put it up on there, man. So what's going down here with Cam and 2 days here?
Hopefully Cam's going to perform.
Yeah.
Joey Cash performing. We got some cats coming up from Portland.
Yeah.
Performing. And it's gonna be more of a party than a showcase.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to, people to come and just think they're just gonna have to sit through a bunch of, stuff that they didn't come there for.
Sure.
So it's gonna be a party. DJ Bankhead's on the 1s and 2s.
Bankhead.
And it's just gonna be a big party and stuff like that. And it was for Cam, being that I put it together. I'm his manager.
The show.
But hopefully that,
So that's in Bellevue,
Stone Lounge.
Stone Lounge, and this Friday. Okay.
Hopefully the proceeds won't go to bail.
I hope not. I hope not, man.
I mean, if they have to, they have to.
and that V guy, man, we are definitely looking into the situation, man. We are hoping that Cam will be released and join us before the show, man. So stay tuned, man. Stay locked, man. We will still be giving you updates throughout the program.
And that's why my next artist is probably going to be a rock and roll artist.
Oh my god!
You gotta go to a
stereotype him now. All right.
So on that note, let's keep the show and tell portion going on. Cam is in the middle of a tour. It sounds like he's got a couple of dates here later May, one in June. It looks like.
Yeah, it's a bunch of dates, but Cam. With dealing with hip hop, man, hip hop is so unpredictable, man, because it's so parallel with the streets that, a lot of these dates are subject to change.
For sure. So there you go. May 19th, Cruisers Bar and Grill, Idaho. May 20th, Give It a Shot, Espresso in Spokane. June 17th, Renton Memorial Stadium. Ooh, that's a big one right there.
We're there. And, yeah, man. So As long as he's not doing a bid, we're in that joint for sure.
Man, that's what's up. You got any upcoming shows on your schedule of events there, Remix?
So while I'm on a hip hop show, let's talk about Cannibal Ox. I booked them in Centralia on June 2nd, and they're going to be with the Unusuals and Double B. I also booked them in
Double
Eugene.
B, we got Double B.
Double
next
B.
month.
And the Unusuals, by the way, if you don't know, that's Experience and a JFK new group right there.
Exactly. And yeah, I know Centralia is like a weird spot to be throwing a show, but like I got a call from Cannibal Ox. Well, it was Vast Air of Cannibal Ox. Like, I don't know, like 3 weeks ago. He's like, "Yo, man, it's Vast," and I'm like Vast Air, like really? Why? How'd you get my number? That's a long story. Anywho, yeah. So June 2nd, Friday, Centralia at the Juice Box. It's all ages too, so bring the family. It's gonna be dope. Also tomorrow, if you are in Tacoma, we got Greg Cypher at the Spanish Ballroom. That's gonna be a tight one.
Shout out my dog Greg Cypher, man.
Yeah, that's what's up. And while you're on that note, Mambo, I know you've been busy with some shows, man. I just I didn't get the flyer from you, but I did jump in the Instagram. I see Devin the Dude coming up here.
Yeah. We got Devin the Dude at the Holocene. So all my Portland people, pull back up on me. We got lit for 420 with Dizzy Wright, man. It was packed out at the Starlight. So I want to bring that same energy. We smoking big gas, pull up on the kid. And then for my Seattleites, you don't got to wait too long because ironically enough, June 1st, I'll be at the Nectar with Young Buck. And then we working out a date for June 2nd that I can't announce just yet, but it's something special. And anyone who knows me, it's a real special to me personally. So we'll talk about that when we talk about it. That's probably it for next week's radio session.
For sure. Now, before we get to this break, man, we're going to dip into the birthday session. So shout out some birthdays real quick. A former host of Fresh Juice, Taylor Hart, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Hey, shout out my sis,
birthday.
man. Happy
Respect
birthday,
my
Taylor.
region,
Hey,
man.
everyone take a big old dab for Taylor, man. Even if you don't smoke weed, man, take a dab for Taylor.
Blaze yourself.
Worst advice ever. Taylor, a real professional on that front right there. Now, also another great tourist, a former guest on the program, has been on for a couple of times at least. Scarlett Park, happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Oh, what's up, Scarlett? Happy birthday, Scarlett.
Yep. And down in Tacoma, a great DJ, man. I've worked with him a lot back in the days when I was working with Juice Radio. He had a show back then with us. DJ Iceman, happy birthday, man.
Iceman.
Iceman.
Man, legend in the South End for sure. And to close that off, man, this Monday, my cat, 3 years old, man. Happy birthday, Linda. I gotta give my cat love, man.
Hey, I gotta give a big, huge, special shout out to a mentor, a mogul in the city, a legend in the city, someone who stomped pavement, half of Shabazz Palaces, my big brother Tendai, man. And actually his uncle got a radio show up on here too. That's Majita's family too. So man, shout out to Tendai. Happy birthday to Big Bro.
See, even Linda's getting love in the comments, yo. But yeah, definitely happy birthday to
that guy DJ Iceman has the most intimidating face I've ever seen.
And for a minute there, he was doing the craziest.
He's pretty chill. He's super chill.
He was doing the craziest rants online.
Super
too.
chill dude. But he kickbox or something.
All right. Any other birthdays, guys? Any other birthdays?
Shout out to Iceman. Happy birthday to Marcos. Happy birthday to Elite, and happy birthday to Red Rome, a battle rapper. He also put on a lot of events for SkyTier, A-Hat Washington.
Happy birthday to all the hood rats.
Okay, yes.
Happy birthday to them.
Remix, any birthdays in your life, man?
Not that I can think of, man. Like I was ill prepared for this one.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good, man.
Somebody's about to cuss you out later.
I know. One of your friends is definitely gonna be like, man, wait, what about me, Remix?
Get at me.
My mom's checking in here. She wants to recognize my cousin Wes Henry's birthday. Okay.
Happy birthday, cousin.
And my Aunt Victoria Coel Reed. Okay. Some family birthdays, man. While we're on it, we haven't really been jumping in with the comments because it's been a little bit of a crazy show. But Miles Salvador, always living this love right there, right from the jump. She was. My mom, of course, is tuning in. JJ Gran was laughing earlier on. Also, that B guy as well. We have a little segment coming up after our next commercial break called Take Your Pick, which is a real game show where you get involved, answer questions, man. So in the comment section. So keep it locked.
Free Cam.
Yes, free Cam.
He's innocent.
Free Cam the Mac.
Free Cam the Mac. But before that, though, we got a new joint coming out of Tacoma from MAR. This new joint features Only One Wiser, BP Parker, and Jazz Digger. It's called Enemy.
Shout out to Only One Wiser. That's a town legend, man. A North End legend. Y'all don't even know, man. Christian rap legend, man.
You're about to hear a verse from him, man. It's the Enemy. Hey,
that's a real independent artist. The 100,000 copies out the trunk. I seen it with my own eyes.
Man,
Daniel, who's the one wiser?
Only one wiser.
But who is the one that's wiser?
Oh.
I've always wanted to know that.
You're gonna have to ask him, man.
I heard that name. I was like, who's the one that's wiser?
It's only one wiser because only God is wiser. There's only one person wiser. He's a Christian rapper.
He's talking about God is the one that's wiser.
Now that we got that out the way, man, we got to play this record from MAR. It's Enemy, Enter Me Remix. When we come back, we're gonna play
my boy.
We're going to play Take Your Pick with Nottus Tre and Remix and all y'all in the comments. So don't go nowhere. Tell your friends to tune in. We only halfway there.
Let's go. Jazz Digger. That's right. I'm steady, looking for peace and serenity. Don't got the time for negativity. Thinking you're tempting me, you must be kidding me. Keep to myself, cause they be too finicky. Keep wasting time while it's steady diminishing. That right there is a real hefty expense to me. Highly unlikely that I'll live a century. Someone will purchase my headstone eventually. Hope you are listening to what I'm mentioning. Respect is earned, not complimentary. We must evolve, we can't repeat history. Live to exist, it doesn't make sense to me. Living to grow, starting and finishing. Living to build a name in this industry. No, not possibly, not potentially. No, not maybe, not conditionally. Last night I had an epiphany. Can't waste the life that my mom and dad gifted me. Rest in peace, Pops, you knew what you meant to me. Watching you work and grind expeditiously, a prime example of what I was meant to be. You're the conductor, I'm just in the symphony. With my instrument, playing it skillfully. No mistake, this is willfully destined to fail, I mean statistically. This world is cold and it lacks empathy for the people who look like me. Specifically, defy the odds, don't embrace sympathy. Speak of greatness when you mention me, because these haters can't contend with me. Ever since elementary, my only enemy is my inner me. MAR. I've been accused of lack of sensitivity, but trying to please everyone will be the end of me. Cause they are not as real as they pretend to be, and focusing on them will only hinder me. But not literally, I don't feed off that energy. You and I are not the same as bad chemistry. You can't strike fear in me, the answer is clear to me. It's clear to see my only enemy is my inner me.
Mental psychology, staying focused on Christ's philosophy. Every time I trip off asleep, holy apology. When salvation is through thy live, call it speakology. Resurrection, we gain that gift, covenant policy. Tree of life from whence we be. Evil in this world, it now exists. Demonic entities now have reign on all of it. Through the portals of your mind is how they transmit. Depression usually occurs on the negative fit. Deep breaths and godly focus will give you a grip. Realignment and exercising won't cause you to flip. You'll protect your aura by staying clear of the counterfeit. Talking to a clinician won't allow you to overdip. Don't over manifest on the manuscript. Oftentimes it's damaging if you are over equipped. Folded my enemy with the eulogy. Boy, that was fully clean.
I've been accused of lack of sensitivity, but trying to please everyone will be the end of me.
cause they are not as real as they pretend to be. And focusing on them will only hinder me. But not literally, I don't feed off that energy. You and I are not the same as bad chemistry. You can't strike fear in me, the answer is clear to me. It's clear to see my only enemy is my enemy.
My focus level on 10, got that truth all in this pen. Blow that whoop all in that wind. I remember eating soups locked in that pen. Now them M's all in my lens. Ain't no Chris Rock in my shin. All this wheel and all of this zen got me chill with all of these wins. Got my hands up, don't shoot. I'm gon' pray and blow on that snoop. Only enemy is my enemy, so my energy's on Zeus. Ain't no blocker stopping this stepping. Ain't no mirrors blocking these blessings. Only L's that came from them lessons. All this king talk is my essence. Only kings allowed in my presence. Only queen allowed in my space. That's my wife, life, and my ace. We pop that blue dot and that ace. Spent my time protecting my piss. Ain't no time for checking these streets. Yeah, my enemy was my enemy. Now that enemy's deceased.
Damn BP, it's like that. You go come murder me on my own track. You go come hurdle me on my own song. You stole the spotlight, you're so wrong. I'm just kidding, you know I loved it. I reached out cause you be spitting substance. Positivity spread out to the public. And you came with the heat, end of discussion.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your homie Markel from The Circle, live with Fresh Juice on Rainier Avenue Radio. You're tapped in with The Circle's finest. Pint Size Patron, D-Money, IDYourself, and OG Mambo. You in the right place.
Are you a small business owner in Seattle who was impacted by COVID-19? The Seattle Office of Economic Development is investing $8 million to connect small businesses to operating capital. The Small Business Capital Access Program will lower the cost of Washington State Small Business Flex Fund loans by paying down 25% of the loan principal. Eligible small businesses can borrow up to $150,000 with a 4% interest rate to cover expenses like payroll, rent, utilities, and supplies.
The beat of the Fox with nastiness is back on K-Fox Night Beat.
Yo, what's the deal? It's the legendary Hall of Fame DJ Mixmaster Ice from UTFO.
What's up? Who you thought this is? This is Sir Mix-a-Lot.
And this is Terry Lewis.
And I'm Grand Mixer GMS.
What's up, y'all? This is DJ Third Degree.
This is JJ Hudson from the High Children family.
Sunday nights from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's K-Fox Night Beat with DJ Nastiness.
Bringing back the memories.
Bringing back the memories.
Bringing Seattle's hottest music.
Bringing Seattle's hottest music. Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
That's my Pinoy. Peace.
Wash your hands, don't touch your face, wipe things down, clean up your space. When you cough and sneeze, do responsibly. If you feel you're getting ill, isolate at home and chill. No, you're not alone. Please pick up your phone and call 206-477-3977. King County 206-477-3977. Public Health 206-477-3977. King County 206-477-3977. Public Health Community Radio Station will provide you with more information. Say Rainier Avenue Radio. Your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
Yeah. What's good, people? It's your boy Swerve One. You're tuned in to Fresh Juice on Rainier Avenue Radio with my boys D-Money, Pint Size Patron, IDYourself, and OG Mambo. Tap in.
Baby say she love me, I don't even know the meaning. Cash put up in the range, Fresh put up in the demon. Put your I ain't giving you no, and I ain't got no explanation. Give me money for no reason. Baby, it's the season. Hit a lick, then the rolling stuff. We got the same 24, so what you tryna with me for? Overdose, make the most of this pandemic. They like holy smokes, Camden turned into the man, didn't he? If it's a purse, then I probably have my hand in it. She say I'm the worst, but I'm worth every minute. It's a curse in the church with a Smith & Wesson. Getting blessing, Lord knows I walked in with the weapon. It's a mindset, I ain't give a bitch a dime yet. You ain't died yet, so go get up on your grind. Yeah, I ain't blind, bitch. Yeah, you fine, but you broke. And you coke sniff. You ain't think that I would know. Yeah, I see everything ain't what it seems. Manifesting dreams while I'm like a fiend when he sip his last lean. But I've been getting green, I ain't getting no vaccine. Look, baby said she love me, she don't even know the meaning. Know he owe me, that's the reason we ain't speaking. You ain't gotta show me that you real, be it. Just like Michael Jackson, tell a bro, beat it. Baby, it's the season, hit a lick, then the rolling stove. We got the same 24, so what you tryna, what you for? Overdose, make the most of this pandemic. They like holy smokes, came to turn into the man, didn't he? Light skin bitch with some bad ass kids. Dark skin bitch with some bad ass friends. My wife is bad, but I don't bring around my mama. Cause mama low-key racist, but she whiter than Madonna. Picture that, boy, I'm blacker than Wakanda. It's the Mac, call me killer or your father. Pockets fat, I ain't talking about the pockets. Mad, turn your to a stalker. If they watching me, I'm in the mirror constantly. I'm still fighting demons like they're Constantine. Really, you can keep it, ain't no sense in dodging me. I'm running with some reapers who gon' kill you probably. White skin look like Michael Jackson. Dark skin look like Michael Jackson.
Rainier Avenue Radio, fresh juice. Yeah, that's Cam the Mac right there. MJ Flow. Hey,
smooth with it.
Yes. And on that note, man, of course, we got Nottus Tre, his manager, man. Cam the Mac is going through a situation, man. What is the latest up? Have you had any updates from him? Like,
man, he went from MJ Flow to OJ.
Oof.
Nah, that was in poor taste.
Really?
Cam, if you can
he would want us to live it.
Yeah, right.
Keep your head up, man.
Any updates though from that you heard?
There's no, man.
None. Okay.
I'm about to actually give the last. I'm about to see if the cop picks up right now because the cop was corresponding.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna see if the cop.
We got the game show Take Your Pick coming though, but we're gonna get this call in real quick. Get this update on Cam the Mac, yo.
To see if a cop gives
update.
Get this update from Cam the Mac. We'll see the situation, man. Oh no.
Mailbox police, man.
Well, I mean, we can try. We could try later, man. We still got a lot of time left in the program. So
I hope this was just some real elaborate way for him to get out of an interview.
Yeah, he made the whole thing up, man. He had his.
It'd be real crafty. It'd be. Yeah.
I mean,
but it's hard to.
That's one way to promote a show, I guess. Yeah,
but I got a call. The call on the caller ID it said Seattle Police Authority. So,
I mean, yeah, that seems pretty legit, man. But legit. I mean, if he was looking at his refrigerator, man, he could have called his officer French's. So
like a usual suspect.
Anyway,
I was thinking that.
Just put the story up together.
That's funny.
Anyway, fresh juice, Rainier Avenue Radio. We got Remex. We got Nottus Tre. We're about to play Take Your Pick. Yes. Yes. All right. As ID yourself usually says, bam, 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 bam. Yes, sir. All right. So we're about to get two different options. You get to choose one of them. Basically, it's basically based on a card game, and we're going to get you involved in the comment section. So Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Feel free to answer the questions in any way you want, and we will select our favorite comment out of the bunch and celebrate it on the following show. So without that, no further ado, last week's winner was Giovanni Sims, who said, imagine knowing you about to hit the stage, knowing you about to F up your own track. If you want context on that one, I believe you had to choose between having perfect luck or knowing what's going to happen every 60 seconds before you make a choice. So there you go. That was Giovanni Sims' comments. We're about to do 5 fresh new ones. And feel free to be as crazy as you want in your comment. Funny, thoughtful, out the box, whatever gets our attention, man. So feel free to jump in. We will get you involved. Of course, we're all going to play. So here we go. Take your pick. Number 1, discover something great and spread it, or discover something evil and prevent it. What are we doing?
The second one.
Those are the two.
You gonna prevent it?
Yeah, I'm gonna prevent it.
You gonna prevent it?
I'd prevent it too. I spread enough as my day job like allows me to. So preventing something would be, a step in the opposite direction.
I could see that. I'm definitely with the spreading something great, man. Just the positivity, man. Just the reach that you can have with that, man. Just like that, I'm definitely on that first one. Just
because it's like that evil that and preventing it sounds like an STD or something.
Amen.
Spread awareness.
I don't.
You got to prevent the STD. Okay,
you can curse a little bit after 10.
That's actually not a bad word, man. That's a medical term, man.
Prevent that. You know what I'm saying?
JJ Grand wants to spread something great. Miles wants to something great and spread it. My mom wants to be great and spread it. What about you, Patron?
Great and spread it, man.
You gonna spread it too?
Yeah.
It looks like Mambo's trying to reconnect, man. So I want to get him involved on this one, but we might have to get him on the next one. Here we go. So take your pick. Here's your second one. And that one is have the best house in a bad neighborhood or have the worst house in a good neighborhood.
The first one.
have the best bad neighborhood.
Because if you're the flyest in the hood, that's almost like a status symbol. Look at me amongst the peasants. That's how you be feeling.
No, I want to be the worst in the great neighborhood. I feel like so behind on his dates. Just the old school house.
No, actually, yeah, you're right. But me being just real ghetto, I would be like, let me be in the hood with a really
just flex.
It's ignorant. Because you're right. I would want to raise my kids in a good neighborhood. It's like
just let me flex on them, yo.
If I can protect it, I don't want to be a target.
Right?
Yeah, see, that's my thing is I wouldn't want to be a target. I'd go with the worst neighborhood the worst house in the best neighborhood. That way, people don't mess with me. Like they don't like I got nothing for you.
I know, like you better have one hell of a security system if you're the best one in a bad neighborhood.
Right.
Amen. Sounds like a lot of work, more money, more problems. Did we not learn nothing?
You gotta worry about having cats like Cam the Mac.
Yes.
Breaking into your place.
Would have never guessed.
Damn.
Or is he?
He's lying in all.
He's like Robin Hood.
He's lying in all his raps, y'all. I would testify about that. He's lying in everything.
I mean, that's one reason why sometimes, when you get that money, man, it is time to move out the hood, man, because there's so many stories about folks that actually stay inside the hood and just the worst outcomes happen to them, man.
But on the flip side, if you go out in the Beverly Hills, a lot of them breaking and enterings be in those gated neighborhoods now, man.
Okay.
So going to that nice area doesn't automatically mean safety.
Yes. Very true. Very true. That has to be said. That has to be said. That definitely has to be said.
They had Chris Brown's auntie hiding in the closet.
Say what?
What? They had her in the closet. She was hiding in the closet. He was getting pilled.
What?
For real, you can look it up.
JJ Grant says worst house in a good neighborhood. Okay.
There we go.
Miles says, have the best house in a bad neighborhood. I don't know about that, Miles. And my mom says, have the worst house in a good neighborhood because the sell value goes up. Okay.
That's facts.
She's
That's
talking
facts.
that back talk. Where's OG Mambo at?
Yeah, I'm back.
There he is. Okay.
They didn't get me, y'all.
My mom had to bring up the bag talk just for you to show up, yo.
ooh, there's deers in the road and stuff like that. It's dangerous out here in the streets, yo. There's probably
How's
one
the
more
internet
battle
moving
or
on?
just stay at home.
So what did you get that question though, Mambo?
No, I just popped in. Pull the question up for me.
All right, yeah. That's have the best house in a bad neighborhood or have the worst house in a good neighborhood.
I'm for sure gonna go worst house in a good neighborhood.
There you
because
go.
bad neighborhoods, like I understand, like the property value gonna go down because it's dangerous, you know. So even if I have the worst house in $1 million neighborhood, I at least have a, you know what I mean, $750,000 house. You know what I'm saying? So
you're speaking, like I said, right when you came in, man, the comment from my mom, you guys are speaking the same language right now because she said have a worse house in a good neighborhood because the sell value goes up.
That's it. You know what I mean? It's going to increase. I know my kids are safe. I'm not really worried about being robbed and stuff like that. And if you have the best house in a bad neighborhood, like you're a target. Like
exactly.
Everyone's on you at all times.
Yes, definitely, man. All right, let's move on to our next one here. Take your pick. Go skiing or go surfing?
This is easy for me. Go surfing because it's hot outside. Being cold is trash.
I feel it though. I feel it though.
And y'all can run back the first couple, and I'll answer those after we get through these ones too, because I know I missed a couple.
Yeah, because it should be surfboarding and snowboarding.
I'll probably go skiing, man, because some sharks, man.
Woo!
I think skiing is dangerous though, dudes. We lost the president today.
Ain't no sharks in the snow. I mean,
I think it was the president's brother.
You can go skiing on a smaller slope though. You ain't gotta go like.
Well, I mean,
X Games
at the places where you be surfing, man. I don't think there's sharks because that's like the lower level waters, man. We're not talking about deep ocean, you know.
Man,
right? Sharks in the ocean.
I'm a shark weed nigga.
What?
D-Money said what? Hey, you gotta say it for yourself doing that.
No, you laughing, but until you come over one arm. No, them sharks be going to the shallow end of them joints, bro. And
I wish
they got Samuel Jackson like that.
I wish we had Nottus here when we were talking about between fighting a shark or a lion, yo. Oh, yeah. That would have been great. But yes, Patron, what are you doing? Skiing or surfing, man?
Surfing.
Yeah,
sure.
surfing.
I just wonder why it's not snowboard versus surfing. Because skiing is just weird in general. You got the two. Got the cold one on each.
I was watching a real movie. It was based on a true story. She was just doing this on her paddle on her surfboard.
Yeah.
And he came up and just took the whole joint from her. Yeah. I swear, it was a true story.
Oh, damn!
She was just doing the front pedal.
He took the whole joint.
I ain't gonna laugh at it. Hey, I'm not.
Daniel's laughing, but
I'm not in the right mind for him to be thinking about this lady.
The shark took it as if it was supposed to come off. That's how clean it came off of her.
You know what? That deserves a
wow.
There you go.
It came clean off of her.
Wow.
And I know it's a movie, but it was based on a true story. Like she really lost that arm. Man.
No, that could definitely happen.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, Billy?
Yeah, no, I know exactly. There's a professional surfer who lost her arm because of that.
She was a pro.
Yeah.
And she was just out there on some run-of-the-mill type, just chilling. and that shark was like, you know what?
Apparently, my mom knows what it is. It's Bethany Hamilton.
There we go, mom.
Dang.
Wow, my mom come with the references galore.
D, how come we ain't never heard of that, D?
I never heard of it. No.
And I was watching the movie.
Didn't hit our algorithm.
She had a movie. I don't know if it was on USA or something.
Was it a Disney?
No, it was on,
I think there's a Disney.
What, a shark bites someone that's on Disney?
Are you thinking about Johnny
Don't see that.
No, it was on one of those channels where it was either Disney, USA, or Lifetime. Where she was just
Disney on them.
She was just doing her thing, and that shark came up and like uppercutted her.
Damn!
Just snapped it in half.
In one motion. It didn't even chew.
It's cold.
Well, on that
It
note,
just clipped her.
on that
That'd be
note,
sick to see.
Now she's looking like Cyborg.
Even on
on that note, I'm
She's still
going
surfing
though, because I'm not dealing with the snow.
Yeah, I'm surfing.
Ain't no snow shark.
What's the Beach Boys? Surfing USA.
JJ Grant's going surfing. Miles is going surfing. My mom is going surfing. Have any of the three of you changed your mind after that story, by the way?
You don't even gotta go that far into the water to get that shark action.
And Han Solo Record says neither for me, but I'd rather be in the water than in the snow. Okay.
I want that great white action, bro.
Yeah.
It's a statistic. Like, statistically,
Yeah.
it's real.
And R4 Game says mother knows best. Okay, yes.
Somebody got bit.
Yeah.
Shores of like Connecticut.
Dang.
Damn.
And sharks don't even be up on the cold side of the. I'm trying to tell you.
My mom says it happened in 03 in Hawaii. Okay.
There you go.
Man,
I like them stats.
Man, mother
Now,
does know
ask
this.
her, look up last time you got bit by a shark on the slope.
that went a little more crazier than I thought it would.
Oh man, Sharknado
animals-
7 or whatever.
JJ
Yeah.
Grant wants to point out the wild animals in the mountains as well. Okay, while you're getting skiing.
Not at the resort. Not at the resort.
Polar bear.
Yeah.
No, they got like wolves. and
He's
stuff.
going cross country skiing.
If you're wild, if you're skiing in the wild, you deserve whatever happened to you.
Cocaine bear out there. That's a different kind of snow.
You deserve whatever happened to you. If you're in the wilderness, you deserve whatever happened to you.
Oh my God. Okay, let's move on, man. Let's move on. Take your pick. Make one new law of your choice or get rid of any law of your choice.
New law.
New law?
New law, no law. No.
New law, no law.
It's a tough one.
What are you doing there, Remix?
Well, like I don't know, like I'm involved in a lot of like activism and stuff, and like I would get rid of the law where women don't have the right choice, or their choice, of abortion. Like I guess that's the first thing that comes to my mind.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with get rid of an old law. That'd be my choice. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's where my mind went right there.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Nottus, man? You making a new law or are you getting rid of the law?
I'm definitely implementing new laws.
New
laws.
New laws?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I would be like, I would say you can marry as many people as you want.
Polygamy, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Not necessarily polygamy.
That's hard though. You think about the tax on that? The family tax on that?
Taxes would vary state to state. Taxes would vary. No, that would be in the law that taxes actually get leaner. The more wives, the better the tax incentives.
I mean, when you have that many wives, yeah, I could see
it's all in there.
why you would want fewer taxes.
It's all in there. Capitol Hill, baby.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Patron?
New law.
New law. Yeah,
New
you
law.
said that right off the jump. I'm my bad.
Yeah.
What's the law though?
Man, I'm
Could be anything.
Nah,
man.
I'm gonna get rid of a law, man. I'm just gonna look at all the things. What's the stupidest thing on the book? That's gone.
Mm-hmm.
How about that law that got Cam the Mac taken up by the police? Let's get rid of that law. Whatever that law is, let's get rid of it.
Or like, why is
That's for sure.
why is weed still illegal?
Right? Yeah. Why don't we get rid of that one? There we go.
I know, right? Like in different countries and stuff too.
I've got family in the Midwest, and like the fact that I can't buy weed when I go visit them? Like, why?
Speaking of, y'all in the comments, if there's any law in the books that you would like to get rid of, let us know. Drop that there in the comments for us. So we'll throw that in there as well. Or a new law that you want to make. Let us know what that law is. Miles says she wants to make law of her choice. JJ wants to get rid of one. And Hand Solo Records, get rid of any law that doesn't provide a number to limit it. So I can get rid of any and all laws I don't like. That was deep.
Law breaking.
Man, he tried to go comment of the week. That's for sure. And Han Solo says, move to Canada. It's legal here. Talking about the weed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I live in Washington. It's legal here too, but not when I go to Idaho. Go figure.
Oof.
Like, I just like cross a border and I can't buy weed.
Right?
Give it time, man.
Yep.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
In a minute, you're gonna be able to just smoke crack.
I mean, as long as
I heard
it's, like,
you could get. I heard you could take it on
made.
a plane from like Cali to Washington.
Crack?
Nah.
Yeah, no, not crack.
We were talking about crack.
I don't know what the hell is going on, man. Let's move on to our last one. Take your pick. Here's our last one. All right. Miss the end of every movie or miss the punchline of every joke.
I went to a comedy show recently, and this dude who I barely know was like, "Hey, can I sit next to you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I went to go see Kyle Kinane, and he talked throughout the whole thing. I will miss the end of every movie. I was so upset. I spent like $35 on these tickets.
Oh man, miss the end of every movie or miss the punchline of every joke.
Almost the end of every movie. That's fine.
I'm gonna miss the punchline of every joke.
I would miss the punchline too.
Sometimes the setups are fire and they kind of create the joke in itself.
I don't know about missing the end of every movie. Like that's
I gotta see
point.
the end of the movie.
That's
a waste of a movie.
You've never seen the end of the movie, man.
You've never seen how Avengers ended. Like
that's just ridiculous.
Infinity War, you would be what? No, jokes can go.
Jokes can go.
They can just go.
You know how many times I've fallen asleep to a movie? I don't know how half of them end. That's fine. I'm cool with it.
I can't do that.
Oh no. Man, I have friends like that, man. They just you start the movie and they're just like what?
Yeah.
I gotta see the end, man. If I don't see the end, what's the point of starting it? You know,
I can't even say I watched it. I mean, I watched the first half.
But man, this ain't a status, man. It's supposed to be the experience.
These are some good questions.
Let's take your pick, man.
I did not expect this to be this tantalizing.
Oh, all right. Let's see. What were we saying in the comments here? Miles.
Cam don't know what he's missing.
Miles is missing the end of every movie. Oof, I don't know about that, Miles. KJ says you don't want to miss the punchline. I'd rather miss the movie. Ooh, okay, KJ.
Yeah.
He's going for the
All
jokes.
right, there are people on my side.
My mom says miss the punchline of every joke. She's not missing the movie.
I want to ask these people how many jokes do they hear?
JJ Grant says miss the punchline. I've already fallen asleep during movies. Okay, JJ's like remix here. KJ says I work nights, so I've missed so many endings to random movies. Damn, KJ. Han Solo says,
what does that even mean? Did you work nights?
Han Solo says that's tough, but missed the end of every movie. Maybe people could tell me about it.
I hate explaining.
That's not the same.
I hate explaining the ending of a movie to somebody.
And think about how often you hear a joke. You don't hear jokes that often.
Well, on this show, apparently we get a lot of them. But
blockbuster movies, you don't want to see the ending to the blockbuster.
Woo, we could have missed every movie on that one, man. And then last but not least, R4 Games says punchlines fly over my head most of the time, so I'd rather miss those than the whole movie.
There we go. One person.
We got one. Everyone else is falling asleep during the movies. I just don't understand it.
Hear a joke, and then you might hear the punch. Most jokes aren't even super funny. there's like thousands of movies, like millions
They
of movies being made.
can't all be knee slappers.
There's like a
you look at great movies. It's like, bro, there's not a lot of jokes, bro.
There's like 1,000 comedians out there, though. Like, what are you talking about? It's like virtually the same thing.
Not enough. There's not enough good stand-ups out there.
I'm with Nottus, man. There's just no comparison, man. I cannot go without missing the whole
Like if you was to go stand-up comedian specials and then good movies, it's like it would be lopsided. As hell.
All right.
Not even close.
All right, y'all. Let's take your pick for the evening. Thank everybody for playing. We'll choose one of these comments here to celebrate on next week's episode. So thank you all. We still got more time left on this program. Of course, we got Nottus Tre, we got Remex.
Yo. Free Cam to Mac.
Free Cam to Mac. Yes, sir. We got music coming up right now before the break. Coming to you from the Bronx. This is Money Boss Players. And this record's called Boss Strategy, produced by Minnesota Money Boss. So check that out right now. Fresh Juice, Rainier Avenue Radio. Don't go nowhere. Still got another half an hour to entertain you.
Hey yo, the boss is back, kicking that grown man ish. I know you was tired of listening to that language, but they done let us up in the game, we gon' change it. Me and Bag is official, the sound is authentic. Like you are now tuned into a villain that went from selling drugs to spitting the written about the life I'm living. I'm just a hustler trying to make me $1. Ain't looking for problems, and police wanna make me a dollar. But the way I move, this shit is imperative. Cause I was told everything you do positive, bring negative. And everything I did negative brought positive. Them drugs I sold with money in my pockets in. Them guns I sold kept niggas out my pockets if. Rap is the game, we bound to lock it. We're only real, but then you won't see a profit. Now put that in your pocket. I catch you on the rebound.
It ain't a thing to be sitting on 20s, being about this money, knocking off that candy to take care of the family.
Well, alright. I'm sick and tired of hustling on benches, having to jump fences. Police come, we run, it's hot in the trenches. Well, alright.
You know I'm sick and tired of catching new cases. Judge knowing my face and having to pay lawyers to take care for you.
Alright. What you think we looking for? Grammy? And we holding swammies. This is life in the slums, living amongst bums.
Alright. Sit back, blowing the Dutch, thinking how a nigga been through so much. This little nigga came up since playing two-hand touch. Now it's hand-to-hand sales, weight sales, moving weight on the scale, stuff and cook up at 12-12. This life hell, this life I'm living, a life forbidden. Any minute I could be dead or in prison, but long as my hand itching, food ain't the only thing cooking in the kitchen. When I broke, I hear my ego living like you broke. Then sit up straight, walk straight, and push them 4/8. So I put the pen to the pad, took my ass to the lab with no break soon as I finish my slabs. Yeah, and can't wait, watch the niggas call us like cabs, so they know the cheapest bag. Got this shit in the bag. Yeah, now it's all on me. My nigga in the call on me. This shit flop, it all fall on me. It ain't a thing to be sitting on 20s, being about this money, knocking off that candy to take care of the family.
Well, alright. I'm sick and tired of hustling on benches, having to jump fences. Police come, we run, it's hot in the trenches. Well, alright.
You know I'm sick and tired of catching new cases. Judge knowing my face and having to pay lawyers to take care for you.
Well, alright. What you think we looking for? Grammy? Well, then we holding swammies. This is life in the slums, living amongst bums. Well, alright.
Hey, what's poppin'? It's Planet coming to you live on Fresh Juice, Rainier Avenue Radio. We got D-Money, Pint Size Patron, IDYourself, and OG Mambo. What's good with it, man? An eye for an eye, baby. Yeah.
Are you nerdy by nature? The Crosscut Ideas Festival is back with captivating conversations to quench your curiosity. Explore issues in science, health, culture, and politics with thought leaders and innovators like Ibram X. Kendi, Audie Cornish, Eric Holder, John Quillen Hill, Andrew Yang, and more. April 29th to May 6th at the Amazon Meeting Center in downtown Seattle. It's the Crosscut Ideas Festival, where curiosity and discovery connect. Get your tickets at crosscut.com/festival.
Tune in to Real Estate and Money every Tuesday afternoon from 2:30 to 3 here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Join your hosts Violetta Strash with John L. Scott Kent North and Tina Lombard with Guaranteed Rate Affinity. They'll help you navigate the waters of our volatile real estate market and offer you some guidance on how to make your hard-earned money work to make your dreams come true. Learn about current trends, get tips on financial matters, and have fun, interactive discussions about your home inside and out. That's Real Estate and Money.
Hi, I'm Paul Pearson of StarTime. Did you know that back in the 9th century, Rainier Avenue Radio was the host of the first annual Gregorian chant-off? Man, that was tight. Well, times have changed and so have we. Now you can hear all the great Rainier Avenue Radio shows on our mobile app for Android and iPhone. It's completely free on the Google Play Store and the iPhone App Store. The Rainier Avenue Radio app.
Hey, this is Paul Pearson. I've hosted the R&B show StarTime since the very beginning of Rainier Avenue Radio, and after years of featuring tracks from the 50s through the 80s, StarTime now plays R&B and hip-hop from the 1990s as well. A whole half-century of soul, funk, hip-hop, and more on StarTime, Wednesdays at 2 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio.
May is here, and Rainier Avenue Radio.world will be celebrating Asian American, Pacific, and Hawaiian Islander Heritage Month all month long. Go to our website, www.rainieravenueradio.world, for the schedule of programs and special programs of interest to honor, celebrate the successes and achievements of Asian Americans during this Asian American, Pacific, and Hawaiian Islander Heritage Month.
Yo, this is Liz Sims. You're rocking with Fresh Juice at Rainier Avenue Radio with D Money, Pint Size Patron, ID Yourself, and OG Mambo.
Hold on, say it one more time. Paint.
Say pine. Say pint. There you go.
Let the good times roll, let it pulse my soul. They ain't making them like this anymore. Look, I'm old as dirt, underpaid, overworked, but it builds ethic. Used to build skill sets, but that's a still metric. Remove the ego, so now I'm eccentric. If two things together don't fit, they split separate. I invented what I wanted to exist. Always wonder when I'm gone if I'll be missed. Things corrode, but gold doesn't rust. Bear the bullshit and the boom or a bust. In a party full of strangers, who can you trust? Much ado about nothing, what would you do without us? It's 2 puffs and pass on in the circle, 360. Make the people dance to dancing like P. Diddy. I stay golden, cause I'm an outsider. But find me on the socials or else I'm a pariah. What stays ain't fades. Things change every day. Plastic degrades, but gold doesn't fade. It's all a part of the game. Not everything will remain. Gold doesn't fade. My memories are just as important as my dreams. Break the story like I'm a reporter with a lead. Felt like it was long, but it was shorter than it seemed. Looking back, it's making me look forward to proceed. With appreciation, it goes up in value. Gatekeepers act like you ain't allowed to. Outcome that comes with the territory. Trying to sink my battleship in something that I foresee. To be honest, it's nothing pompous. It's just a fondness, what's been accomplished. However modest, it's something to hang the hat on. Now if you want a verse, my price is a pound of saffron. Black Swan event with a white wink, waiting for the millisecond I can bottle some lightning. It's a time thing like the days of the gold rush. Sometimes you can't get the paint off an old brush. What stays ain't a phase. Things change every day. Plastic degrades, but gold doesn't fade. It's all a part of the game. Not everything will remain. Gold doesn't fade.
Azrael raps good. Fresh Juice, Rainier Avenue Radio, and the Dirty Sample on that one as well. And the production, man, former guest of the program, latest stuff out of Han Solo Records. That one is called Gold, and you can go cop that off of the album Content right there. Azrael raps good and the Dirty Sample.
Shout out to the Dirty Sample, man.
Yes, sir, man. He got them samples on lock for sure. So yeah, definitely, man. All right, Fresh Juice, Rainier Avenue Radio every Wednesday night, 9 to 11 p.m. If you are tuning in late, man, there unfortunately is an empty seat tonight, man. Free Cam the Mac. Just wanted to show that we had the seat ready for him and everything. So there you go, man. Free Cam the Mac.
Free Cam, man.
Yes, sir. Fresh, sure. Feel free to drop that hashtag on your socials, man, because we got to get Cam out, man. Definitely.
Get him out, man. Got to get him out.
Gotta do that. Gotta do that,
Got a
man.
show to do.
Yeah, but we're in the middle of a show right now. Actually,
We're in the middle of a show.
we are, and it's not every day that we have a promoter and a manager on the same show. So I want to do something a little fun, man. Let's pretend we're putting together a show, man. Nottus, you got an artist, you want to play it. Remix, you're a promoter, and you're going to put this on. So take us through from the start to finish. What are you guys doing each to put this show and make it happen?
Am I the booker for the venue, or am I the promoter who's trying to put this into a venue?
You're going to be the promoter, man. You're the promoter.
I'm in the promoter. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's your role in this?
All right. Nottus, do you have an EPK for Cam the Mac?
No.
No? Okay. It's not necessary. Honestly, in my experience, all that I need is Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, Bandcamp. Those are like the four things that I like. Those are what I gravitate to. I want to look at your Facebook numbers. I want to look at your Instagram numbers. I want to look at your Spotify numbers.
Sure.
Bandcamp, you can't do that with, but Bandcamp is awesome because it's a free resource at the end of the day.
Sure. I mean, if I'm putting together a show,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look to see, I'm gonna look to see how often this person performs and how much he works. For when he does have an event. There's a lot of people who they'll say, "Hey, can you put me on your next show?" And I'm like, who? Not who are you, but do you make sure your people come see you?
Mm-hmm.
That's very important to me.
Right. All right, let's be a little more specific. All right, your artist Nottus is Cam the Mac. You want to do a show for Cam the Mac.
Yes.
Remix is a promoter, man.
So
how are you guys interacting?
I'm trying to convince him.
Yeah, how are you guys interacting to put on this show? Who does what?
No, I'm gonna contact him and I'm gonna say, hey, first I'm gonna ask, do you already have events going?
Okay.
That you artists for.
Right.
That's
right.
Way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes I'm sure Remix, I'm sure you have your big shows where let's say just throw out Little Baby. You have your shows where your big shows are happening, but then you have your showcases.
Right.
Where there's not a lot of risk on your side. It's almost an open mic, but you're promoting beforehand.
Right.
That's what I would shoot for. I'm not going to shoot for your money maker. I'm going to shoot for the thing that you're developing.
Okay.
With my artist.
And I wish more people were like you, because it's better to ask that question and to start out with, hey, do you need openers for anything?
Yeah, I don't want
at this time.
Yeah, exactly.
At this time, I'm not looking for openers, but I can say, well, what do you have? You can show me Cam the Mac, and I already saw his music video. I'm down to throw something together. Let's do something at Lavoyer. What date range are you looking for?
Exactly. And yeah, exactly. And I would actually just be like, hey, put him with other local artists that you have. Don't put it on the big stuff. Put me on the stuff that is more grass level,
grassroots,
and then it's more organic that way. It's more organic that way, and my guy can make more of an impact than as opposed to if you got a show with a big name artist and everybody's trying to get on those shows, and a lot of those people who try to get on those shows aren't even trying to put her on weight. They want a handout. They want a favor.
Exactly.
Put me in front of somebody else's crowd. Pretty much what they're saying.
Okay. So
that's annoying.
All right. So Nottus has gave his proposal here. He wants to get Cam on the bill of a bigger artist. So a
smaller artist.
A smaller artist, my bad.
Yeah, a smaller artist.
Right. And you've accepted, right? Remix, you've accepted.
I've accepted, yep.
So we got a date. We have the event has a date now, right?
Oh, does it have a date?
Does it? Are we there
far?
yet? Do we need is there a process before we get to a date?
So when I receive an email,
I would give him a range.
You would give him a range? Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Have anything happening in July?
Okay. So he's asking if you have anything July.
then I can look at the calendar and say, well, I've got nothing going on between, I'm just throwing out arbitrary numbers here. I don't know if these are weekends or not.
Of
July
course. This is
27th. Yeah, July 27th through July 30th. I've got nothing on my books. So I can go ahead and I can hit up, like if I'm the promoter in this situation, I'll hit up the Crypt, Lavoyer, McCoy's, and I'll ask, hey, do you have any openings during these dates? And then I can lock in 1 or 2 dates, and then I can go back to Cam's camp and say, hey, do any of these dates work for you? And then if y'all say yes to one of them, then boom, we've got the venue. That's the hardest part. The hardest part is always finding the venue. Right. After that, then we can go to the drawing board and say, okay, who's going to headline this? Like we obviously want a local of some sort, right?
Right.
So we want like a local headliner, and then we can work on doing the openers. But I first and foremost want to know, hey, do you have anyone in mind for openers? Because in my experience, I've learned that if you have an artist, that artist probably wants their friends on the bill, right? That way their friends tell their friends and their friends, and it's like, oh, it's just a big party at the end of the day.
They can be friends, yeah.
And when I'm aiming for outside of my region, like Olympia or these other places, I'm actually going for the smaller things, so it's less of a risk on the promoter's part.
Right.
So if you got a bar that is capacity 50 people, and you know that this is gonna bring some type of crowd, you expect 20 to 30 people. That's what I'm looking for going out of town.
Okay.
I'm not looking for the home run. I just want to go to first base.
Right. I get that. Okay. So Remex threw out some dates.
Hey, real quick, Remex, would there ever be a situation where you would have to charge somebody to perform?
Okay. Shout out to all the promoters that yes or no, I guess. No. Here's the thing. Shout out to all the promoters. So back in the day when I used to rap, Patron, you were there with me. That was like the standard practice. It was like you hand X amount of dollars and you get a set amount of tickets and you hand those out. I hate that practice. That is a practice that is only done in the hip hop world. Everything should be done via
I've seen it done for sure. I've definitely seen it done.
Yeah, no, it should be where, hey, we give the we give the headliner X amount of money because they are the face on the flyer that we want, right? Okay. And also we have a DJ. That's called overhead at the end of the day. We have a headliner and we have a DJ. So we need to make X amount of dollars before anybody else gets paid because they're the core of the show at the end of the day. And then anything made after that will be distributed amongst the artist. Because that's like standard practice in any, like you go to any rock show, it's always headliner gets, I'm just throwing out arbitrary numbers here, 50% of the door. The two openers get 25% of the door. So we need to layer that in a way that the openers get X amount of dollars for opening up for this big name.
Okay. All right. So in our hypothetical show, Remex, you threw out some dates. Nottus, you chose one for Cam the Mac. Yeah. Okay, we got a date. We have an event happening at this time. Okay, now where are we at, man? We're going up to the show. Who's putting in what are we doing? What are we doing as a promoter? What are we doing as a manager? How are we going to have a successful show from this point?
If I'm presenting the show, then it is my job to distribute the flyers and post on my social media platforms, i.e. at Cap City Presents. Be sure to follow Cap City Presents, by the way.
No, of course. And then as from a managerial role, what are you doing until this show happens?
I'm also promoting 9 times out of 10, especially at this stage. I'm gonna provide transportation. I'm gonna, make sure I'm not gonna ask for any money.
Okay.
First off.
Right.
Because I believe that the person putting in the risk should be the person who gets the back end or the front end for that matter. At this time, I'm just trying to expand my artist fan base and audience. So it's all promo.
Gotcha.
So if I get with Remix, say if I get with them 4 times before the end of the year, hopefully by the 3rd or 4th time, Cam the Mac or whoever my artist is garnering some type of traction where he is.
Okay.
So now when he does bring out Too Short, he can say, okay, I'm gonna throw Nottus Tre's artist on there, and that should bring more people to the event. So that's when we can start talking some type of compensation.
All right. I would definitely like to keep this going, but we out of time. So at this point, we're going to say we had a successful show. Everybody made money. The crowd was packed, all that. Yeah. So there was more we could have got
Thank
into.
y'all for coming out.
Yeah,
man.
right. Yeah, right. But
it took a lot to put together the show.
Yeah, it sounded like it. But both of y'all, before we bounce, any final words? Remix, you can go first, man.
You know, I just had something like written over here. I just want to shout out my homegirl Kristen, if anything, because she throws the South Sound Block Party, which is they did their first year last August. And I'm born and raised Olympia. I did not know that anybody could throw a festival in Olympia and pull it off, because I've seen festivals happen and they flop, but she did it. And she has taught me more in the past 2 years than I've learned just by booking the past 11 years. And really shout out to my crew at McMenamin's at Spanish Ballroom, Dave and Patrick.
Okay.
They shaped me to who I am. Like, real talk, I've been doing DIY booking for over 11 years. So being thrown into a 700 cap venue, I learned the do's, I learned the don'ts, and I owe it all to Kristen, Dave, and Patrick at the end of the day.
Shout out to them.
That's who I want to shout out.
Man, and Nottus, man, final words?
I'm happy I'm not in jail.
Right? Hey, that's real. That is very real.
Stone Lounge, Bellevue, Cam the Mac, hopefully Joey Cash, DJ Bankhead is going to be a party. Stone Lounge, Friday, Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
It's going to be cracking. Come on. Holla at me.
There it is, man.
If you watch this and you say, hey, I watched you on Juice Radio.
Fresh Juice, yeah.
Fresh Juice. I watched you on Fresh Juice, or I heard you on Fresh Juice. I will buy you a drink.
There we go.
Hey, there it is. He just put it out there, man.
Fresh juice, fresh drink.
If you want to get that drink, man, show up to, yes, sure it is. Show up to Bellevue and for the Stone Lounge this Friday night.
First 5 people.
First, okay. All
right, yeah.
We're not going to get it out from there.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you there's more than 5 people listening, man.
Yeah. 5 people that bring up Fresh Juice interview.
All right, first 5 get a free drink. Okay, I can respect that. All right, man.
Bottom show.
All right, man. Thank you, everybody, for listening in for another edition of Fresh Juice, man. You can follow us on all of our platforms, Facebook group. Follow us there. Watch the show as well. Facebook.com/group/Fresh Juice Media. IG and Twitter, we're there as well. Fresh Juice Media. We actually live tweet the playlist as it happens and tag the artists, so you can learn more about them on Twitter. And then on G, you can see pictures with our guests after the show, and also clips and upcoming announcements, all that kind of stuff. And then YouTube.com/fresh @Fresh Juice Media. You can see full shows on our YouTube. You can also see some clips, smaller clips, funny stuff, important stuff, all that kind of stuff. So feel free to binge yourself. Go to youtube.com/@Fresh Juice Media for all of that. Thank you, Miles, for always tuning in. Apparently we're elbow coughing here, someone else. But we got also next week's program as I try to pull the flyer up real quick. Here we go. Next week we got L Rock coming through. Shouts out to him out of the Tacoma. He's been a former guest of the show. And then Lonnie Oceans as well. So Lonnie Oceans and L Rock joining us live next week. That's May 10th at 9 p.m. You can join us live. It'll be our 655th episode of the show. Whew. Oh my God. Wow. All right, the Neon Ghost Show is next, but we do want to remind you that a portion of this interview will be re-aired on DJ Def Con's programs, the Re-Up and the Massive Mix Session. So there you go. You can listen to a portion of this on the Re-Up on KSVR Thursdays 8 to 10, and then on the Massive Mix session on KZAC on Fridays at 5 to 7 p.m. So a portion of that will be heard on those shows. So yeah, thank you to DJ Defcon for that. All right, the Neon Go show is next, so we got to get out of here. Peace, bless, and we out. Book.